The world is on edge. Iran, Ukraine, Taiwan, and NATO dominate a volatile news cycle. From escalating tensions in the Middle East to severe weather threats in East Asia, today's stories reveal a landscape fraught with uncertainty. Here are today's top 10 stories you need to know. As conflicts rage across multiple regions, humanitarian and security crises are worsening globally. Recent reports highlight devastating wildfires in France, which have displaced thousands and strained local resources. Simultaneously, humanitarian disasters unfold in Ukraine, Sudan, and Congo, where ongoing conflicts have left millions in dire need. The international community faces increasing pressure to address these urgent needs effectively. Organizations are mobilizing resources to provide aid, but the scale of these crises poses significant logistical challenges. Climate change exacerbates these situations, pushing vulnerable populations closer to the brink of despair. The interconnected nature of these crises underscores the need for comprehensive solutions that address both immediate humanitarian needs and long-term stability. In response, global cooperation and innovative strategies will be essential to alleviate the suffering of those affected. A devastating fire has erupted at a shoe factory in Fujian, China, leading to reported casualties among workers. Firefighters are currently battling the blaze, which has raised significant concerns about safety regulations in industrial facilities across the nation. This factory, known for its large-scale production, has been a vital employer in the region, providing jobs to hundreds of families. As emergency services respond to the urgent situation, investigations are underway to determine the cause of the fire and assess any negligence. This incident not only underscores the inherent risks associated with industrial work, but also highlights the pressing need for improved workplace safety standards in China. In response, the local government is expected to enforce stricter safety procedures to prevent future tragedies, signaling a potential shift towards more rigorous oversight in the manufacturing sector moving forward. Pakistan's law enforcement agencies have recently experienced a series of cyberattacks attributed to groups believed to be linked to China and India. These assaults have raised alarms about the cybersecurity landscape in the region, revealing significant vulnerabilities in Pakistan's critical infrastructure. The attacks have compromised sensitive information, potentially affecting national security and public safety. This incident occurs amid escalating geopolitical tensions in South Asia, where cyber warfare tactics are increasingly employed by state and non-state actors. The ramifications extend beyond Pakistan, as these attacks serve as a stark reminder of the growing cyber threats that nations face globally. In response, Pakistani officials are advocating for enhanced cybersecurity measures and international cooperation to tackle these challenges effectively. The urgency for robust defenses against cyber warfare is clear, as nations must prepare to protect their digital assets. Moving forward, Pakistan aims to strengthen its cybersecurity framework to safeguard against future attacks. As political dynamics shift, NATO is preparing for renewed turbulence in relations, particularly with the potential return of Donald Trump to power. His previous tenure saw significant friction within the alliance, with Trump frequently questioning the value of NATO and calling for increased defense spending from member nations. This rhetoric raised alarms among European leaders, who now express concerns about how a second Trump administration could further strain transatlantic ties. Analysts argue that his policies could undermine collective security efforts, prompting a reevaluation of defense strategies among NATO members. As threats from Russia, China, and terrorism continue to emerge globally, the alliance faces pressure to adapt to these new geopolitical realities. The unity within NATO is being tested, with some members advocating for a more assertive stance. The implications of these developments could reshape the future of NATO as leaders navigate a complex political landscape. In the coming months, NATO's response to these challenges will be crucial for maintaining its cohesion and relevance. Reports indicate that Russian President Vladimir Putin is steadfastly resisting calls for peace talks with Ukraine. Sources close to the Kremlin suggest that recent Ukrainian drone attacks have only strengthened his resolve to continue the military campaign. This ongoing conflict, which began in 2014, has resulted in a staggering humanitarian crisis, with thousands of civilians displaced and both sides suffering heavy losses. As diplomatic efforts stall, the prospect of negotiation seems increasingly remote, leaving many to wonder about the future of Ukraine's sovereignty. The international community is deeply concerned about the implications for global stability, particularly as winter approaches, exacerbating the humanitarian situation. The conflict has already disrupted energy supplies across Europe, leading to rising prices and economic anxiety. Analysts suggest that without a significant shift in strategy or external pressure, the conflict will likely persist, further entrenching both sides. In this context, the potential for renewed dialogue appears bleak, yet the urgency for a resolution remains critical as casualties continue to mount. Taiwan has made a bold move by taking foreign lawmakers on a Coast Guard ship to islands it controls, located near the contentious waters with China. This visit not only signifies Taiwan's assertion of sovereignty, but also escalates maritime tensions in the region. The islands, known as the Diaoyu or Senkaku Islands, have long been a flashpoint in Sino-Japanese relations, complicating Taiwan's own territorial claims. The action has drawn sharp criticism from Beijing, which views such displays as provocative and a direct challenge to its authority. Taiwan's government is keen to demonstrate its resolve amid increasing pressure from China over its territorial claims, particularly following recent military exercises by the Chinese Navy. This display of strength comes at a time when the international community is rallying around Taiwan, emphasizing the island's strategic importance as a democratic entity in the face of authoritarian pressure. Analysts speculate that China's potential responses could include increased military activities in the area, raising the stakes for both sides. The coming weeks will likely reveal how Taiwan navigates this delicate balance of power in the Taiwan Strait. Typhoon Bavi has intensified rapidly and is now posing a significant threat to Taiwan, bringing severe weather conditions that could disrupt daily life. Authorities have urged residents to prepare for potential impacts, such as heavy rains and strong winds, which may lead to flooding and landslides in vulnerable areas. The government is on high alert, mobilizing resources and emergency services to ensure the safety of citizens. This typhoon arrives at a critical juncture for Taiwan, which is already navigating complex geopolitical tensions with China, raising concerns about the nation's resilience. The storm's projected path is being closely monitored, with forecasts indicating it could cause considerable disruption to transportation and infrastructure. As communities brace for impact, questions arise regarding Taiwan's preparedness and response strategies in the face of increasing climate-related challenges. The typhoon not only threatens immediate safety, but also highlights the broader implications of climate change on the region. With the storm's arrival imminent, officials are emphasizing the urgent need for vigilance and community solidarity in the days ahead. In a landmark decision, Germany has announced plans to purchase U.S.-made Tomahawk cruise missiles. Chancellor Friedrich Merz confirmed that these missiles will be stationed on German soil, marking a significant shift in Germany's defense posture. This acquisition comes in response to escalating geopolitical tensions, particularly due to Russia's aggressive maneuvers in Ukraine and increased threats from other regional actors. Historically, Germany has maintained a policy of military restraint, but the current security environment has prompted a reevaluation of this stance. Supporters of the missile purchase argue that it will enhance NATO's deterrent strategy against potential aggressors, while critics warn of the risks associated with escalating militarization in Europe. This decision reflects Germany's commitment to increasing its defense spending, aligning with NATO's targets. The implications of this acquisition extend beyond Germany, potentially reshaping the defense landscape in Europe and prompting neighboring countries to reassess their military strategies. As the deal progresses, NATO allies are expected to respond strategically, influencing the dynamics of collective security. Germany's move may pave the way for a more robust European defense posture in the years to come. Ukraine has ramped up its offensive against Russian energy and naval assets, launching strikes that target oil reserves and military vessels near Crimea. This marks a significant shift in Ukraine's military strategy as it seeks to disrupt Russian supply lines and weaken its naval presence in the Black Sea. The attacks are viewed as a tactical response to the Kremlin's ongoing aggression, which has intensified since the conflict began in 2014. Analysts believe that by targeting critical infrastructure, Ukraine aims not only to diminish Russia's military capabilities, but also to bolster its own position in negotiations. The Ukrainian military has reported successful hits on multiple targets, complicating operational logistics for Russian forces who may struggle to protect their assets. The international community is closely monitoring these developments, as they could signal a new phase in the protracted conflict. As Ukraine gains momentum, questions arise about Russia's potential countermeasures, which may include retaliatory strikes or increased military presence in the region. With both sides unwilling to yield, the conflict shows no signs of abating. The evolving situation raises concerns about the potential for escalation, making it crucial to assess the implications for regional stability and the broader geopolitical landscape. In a significant escalation of tensions, fresh U.S. strikes on Iranian military targets have been reported, alongside Iranian retaliation against U.S. infrastructure in the Gulf region. This escalation follows a fragile ceasefire established months ago, which aimed to curb ongoing hostilities between the two nations. The U.S. military has confirmed multiple airstrikes intended to degrade Iran's capability to launch further attacks, specifically targeting missile sites and drone facilities. In retaliation, Iran has launched strikes on U.S. bases, raising fears of a prolonged military engagement that could destabilize the entire region. This cycle of retaliation not only threatens American personnel, but also endangers regional allies, including Saudi Arabia and Israel. Experts warn that the consequences of this escalation could ripple through global oil markets and heighten security concerns across the Middle East. In Washington, officials are engaged in intense discussions about potential next steps, weighing military options against diplomatic efforts. Meanwhile, the Iranian government is attempting to rally domestic support by framing the conflict as a struggle against U.S. aggression. As tensions mount, the potential for diplomatic backchannels to de-escalate the crisis appears uncertain. Observers are particularly concerned about the impact on international negotiations surrounding Iran's nuclear program. The coming days will be critical in determining whether a new diplomatic initiative can emerge from this volatile situation. Thank you for watching. Which of these stories shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates.